So, dear students, welcome to our third lecture of unit number 3 interfacial tension, and topic for today's lecture is measurement of surface and interfacial tension. In the previous two lectures, I have told you about what is surface tension, what is interfacial tension, what is interface, what is surface, and what is surface free energy, what is spreading coefficient. The next topic will be measurement of surface and interfacial tension. So, first of all, there are certain methods for measuring the surface and interfacial tension, and these methods are capillary rise method, tensiometer method, ring Dunois tensiometer, or drop weight method, that is done with the help of stalagmometer. And the choice of these method that will be chosen for the measurement of surface and interfacial tension will depend on certain parameters, and these parameters are the whether what extent of accuracy is desired, what is the size of the sample, and whether the surface or interfacial tension is to be determined. So, these all are the parameters on which the selection of the method that is used for the determination of surface and interfacial tension depends upon. Okay. So, first of all, capillary rise method. So, capillary rise method is the most appropriate method, is the most accurate method that is chosen for the measurement of surface and interfacial tension. The principle of capillary rise method is, when a capillary tube is placed in a liquid, it rises up the tube a certain distance, and by measuring its rise, it is possible to determine the surface tension of the liquid. It is not possible to obtain interfacial tension using this capillary rise method. So, this is based on the capillary tube, the rise of liquid in the capillary tube. So, we are taking a beaker, in this liquid is placed, this is the liquid. Okay. In this we are placing a capillary tube, this is the capillary tube. Okay. When this capillary tube is placed into the liquid, this liquid will rise to a certain distance. And the distance that is to which it is rise in this is denoted by the h. This is the distance h. Okay. This distance is the distance h. Okay. So, when this is the capillary tube, when it is placed in the liquid, this liquid will rise up in the tube to a certain distance, and by measuring this rise, we can easily calculate the surface tension of the liquid, and by this method we cannot calculate the interfacial tension. As I have told in the previous lectures, the two forces are acting in this phenomena, cohesive force and adhesive force. So, what is cohesive force? Cohesive forces are what? It is the force that is existing between the like molecules in the surface of the liquids. And what are adhesive forces? These forces are the forces that is existing between unlike molecules, such as between a liquid and the wall of a glass of the capillary tube. The forces that exist between the molecules of liquid water that exist between the liquid molecule is known as cohesive forces, and the forces that are existing between the unlike molecule, that is between the liquid and the wall of the glass capillary tube. The forces that exist between the liquid and the walls of the capillary tube are known as the adhesive forces. The forces that exist between the liquid molecule only will known as the cohesive forces. So, like forces are known as the cohesive forces and unlike forces are known as the adhesive forces. And in this capillary rise method, adhesive forces are the forces that exist between the liquid molecule and the wall of the glass capillary tube. Okay. We can see an example. This is the liquid. This is the liquid and a capillary tube is placed into this, and when this capillary tube is placed into this liquid will rise up to a certain distance as shown by the blue ink. Okay. Can you see this blue ink? This blue ink shows the distance or the rise of the liquid in the capillary tube. And when the force of adhesion is greater than the force of cohesion, only then the liquid is said to wet the capillary wall, spreading over it and rising in the tube. Okay. As I have told you in the previous lecture of the spreading coefficient, when the work of adhesion is more as compared to the work of cohesion, only then spreading will occur. Same phenomena applies into this. When the forces of adhesion is greater than the cohesive forces, only then liquid is said to be wet the capillary wall, liquid is said to spread over it and liquid is said to rise in the tube. Okay. Because if cohesive forces are more, then liquid will be unable to move or liquid will be unable to spread, and it will not rise up in the capillary tube, because due to the cohesive forces the liquid molecule will pull inward and will try to acquire minimum surface area. So, it is not possible to rise in the capillary tube when work of cohesion is more or forces of cohesion is more. When the force of adhesion is greater, only then liquid is said to wet the capillary wall and spreading over it and rising in the tube. Okay. If the capillary tube of inside radius is equal to r immersed in a liquid that wet its surface, the liquid continues to rise in the tube due to the surface tension until the upward movement is just balanced by the downward force of the gravity due to the weight of the liquid. See, in this diagram, the liquid will continue to rise. The liquid will continue to rise until this upward movement of water is counterbalanced by the downward movement. And what is downward movement? Downward movement will be due to the gravity. Okay. This liquid will continue to rise until it is counterbalanced by the downward movement. And what is downward movement? The downward movement will be because of the gravity. Okay. This is the upward movement. Upward movement or upward component, and this one is the downward component. Okay. Downward component क्या होगा आपका? वेट होगा, और अपवर्ड कंपोनेंट होगा आपका दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द सरफेस टेंशन, मीन्स गामा. ओके. When we are putting a capillary tube into a liquid, then this liquid will rise into the capillary tube, and this will be due to the surface tension, this will be due to the upward movement, and that this upward movement is due to the surface tension, and this the liquid will continue to rise. This liquid will continue to rise into the capillary tube until this movement is counterbalanced by the downward movement that is due to the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So, the upward component What is upward component? The force represents the surface tension of the liquid at any point on the circumference. Okay. In this diagram, this is the capillary tube. Okay. In this capillary tube, this is the angle theta, this is the h, that is height. So, when we are placing this capillary tube into liquid, this liquid will rise into this capillary tube. This will rise up to a certain height, and by measuring this height we can easily calculate the surface tension. Okay. So, this will occur due to the upward movement. The rise of liquid in the capillary tube will occur due to the upward movement, and this will be balanced by the downward movement. And what is downward movement? Downward movement will be due to weight. Okay. So, what is upward component? Upward component is the force that represents the surface tension of liquid at any point on the circumference. Okay. So, upward component that is represented by A is equal to surface tension into cos theta, gamma into cos theta, and the total upward force around the inside circumference of the tube is, this is the capillary tube, and the area of the circumference will be equal to 2 pi r. So, the upward force that is occurring in this capillary tube will be equal to gamma into 2 pi r into cos theta. Okay. In the case of liquids used in the pharmacy, this cos theta is equal to the 1. So, when this value will be 1, then this equation will become upward component A is equal to 2 pi r gamma. Okay. I have told you the upward movement or the rise of the liquid in this capillary tube is due to the surface tension. Okay. So, upward component will be equal to surface tension into cos theta. Why cos theta? Because it will attain a angle, it will it will form a certain angle at the meniscus. Okay. And this angle is represented by the theta. So, upward component is equal to gamma into cos theta, and the circumference of the capillary tube is equal to the 2 pi r. So, the upward component is equal to gamma into 2 pi r into cos theta. Okay. And the liquids that are used in pharmacy, for these liquids cos theta value is equal to 1, and this upward component will be equal to gamma into 2 pi r, or A is equal to 2 pi r gamma. Okay. Next, coming on the downward component. What is downward component? This is the downward component. Okay. So, downward component is what? It is the counteracting force or is gravity and depends on the weight of the liquid in the capillary rise. Okay. Upward component is due to the surface tension of the liquid, and downward component is due to the force of gravity, and it will depend upon the weight of the liquid in the capillary rise tube. Okay. And downward component is represented by the letter B, and this B is equal to the mass of the liquid in capillary multiplied by acceleration due to gravity, multiplied by acceleration due to gravity, that is represented by the G. Okay. I have as I have told you that the downward component is due to the force of gravity and it also depends on the weight of the capillary rise. So, downward component will equal to the mass of the liquid or weight of the liquid in the capillary multiplied by acceleration due to gravity. So, B is equal to m into A, m into A. This mass is represented by A and acceleration is represented by the A or G. Okay. So, mass, density is equal to mass divided by volume. So, mass will be equal to volume into density. So, mass will be replaced by the volume multiplied by density into acceleration. Okay. This mass is represented by volume into density. Volume we can represent by area into height. We are replacing this volume by cross sectional area into height, into density into acceleration. Okay. And cross sectional area is represented by pi r square, height is denoted by letter h, density is denoted by rho and acceleration is denoted by g. And at equilibrium, when equilibrium attains, then the upward component is equal to the downward component. So, A is equal to B. And what is the value of A? Value of A is 2 pi r gamma. This is the value of A. Okay, this is the value of A. And what is value of A? 2 pi r gamma is equal to value of B. What is B? Pi r square h rho g. Okay. So, 2 pi r gamma is equal to pi r square h rho g. And when we are calculating the gamma is equal to pi r square h rho g upon 2 pi r. So, gamma is equal to 1 by 2 r rho h g. What is gamma? Surface tension. R is radius, rho is density, h is height and g is acceleration due to gravity. Okay. When we have values of radius, we have values of density and height, then we can easily calculate the surface tension with the help of this method. And what this method is what? Capillary rise method. Okay. Significance of this method is what? It is the most accurate method for calculation of surface tension. This method is suitable to study the effect of time on capillary rise method, and it is also useful to measure the surface tension of mercury. Okay. Next is examples of this phenomena. Example of this capillary rise phenomena includes underground water rising onto the surface. Okay. The underground water that is rising to the surface, this will occur due to the capillary rise phenomena. The oil that is rising through the wick in a lamp, this is because of the capillary rise phenomena. To certain extent, water rising from soil to the branches above the ground in plants, this is also because of the capillary rise phenomena. Okay. So, capillary rise phenomena is helpful in liquid rise in the capillary tube. Okay. Next method for determination of surface tension is, surface and interfacial tension is de Neuer ring method. Okay. This method is applicable for the surface as well as interfacial tension. Capillary rise method was only used to calculate the surface tension. It was not applicable for the interfacial tension, but de Neuer ring method is helpful for the measurement of surface and interfacial tension. the principle of denewering method is what? The principle of this method depends on the fact that the force necessary to detach a platinum iridium ring immersed at the surface or interface is proportional to the surface or interfacial tension, and this force of detachment is recorded in Dians on a calibrated dial. Okay. If the volume or weight of the drop as it is detached from the tip of known radius is determined, then the surface and interfacial tension is calculated with the help of this formula. This value represents the dial readings in Dians, depend upon 2 pi r. So, this is the formula with the help of which we can easily determine the surface and interfacial tension. Okay. 25% of results are wrong if certain correction factor is not provided with this formula. So, we will provide a correction factor that is represented by the F. Okay. And then the M represents the mass of the drop, V represents the volume of the drop, rho represents the density of the liquid, R is the radius of the tip, G is the acceleration due to gravity, and F is the correction factor. Okay. In this, M is the mass, G is the acceleration due to gravity, V is the volume, rho is the density. So, with the help of this formula, we can easily calculate the surface and interfacial tension. So, let us have a recap of the lecture. Firstly, I have told you about the capillary rise method, and the principle of capillary rise method is what? When a capillary tube is placed in the liquid, as showing in the diagram, this capillary tube is placed in the liquid, then this liquid will rise to a certain distance in the tube, and by measuring this rise, it is possible to determine the surface tension of the liquid. Okay. And it is not possible to measure the interfacial tension using this capillary rise method. And as I have told you in the previous lecture about the cohesive forces and adhesive forces, the same forces are also applicable in case of capillary rise method. Okay. And these are the adhesive forces due to which this liquid will wet the walls of the capillary tube, will spread over the capillary tube. Okay. Cohesive forces are what? These are the forces that exist between the like molecules in the surface of the liquid. And what are the adhesive forces? These are the forces that exist between unlike molecules, such as that between a liquid and the wall of the glass capillary tube. Okay. This is the diagram which shows a liquid and a capillary tube is immersed into this liquid. Okay. And this blue color ink shown the rise of the liquid into the capillary tube. Okay. When the adhesive forces, the forces of adhesion is greater than the cohesive forces, only then liquid can rise into the capillary wall. The liquid is said to be spread over the capillary wall, and it can rise in the capillary tube. Okay. And the if a capillary tube of inside radius is equal to r, that is immersed in the liquid as shown in the diagram, then the liquid continues to rise in the tube due to the surface tension until the upward movement is just balanced by the downward force of the gravity, that is due to the weight of the liquid. Okay. This rise of the liquid in the capillary tube is due to the upward movement due to the surface tension, and this rise will continue sorry, until it is balanced by the downward movement, and this downward movement will be due to the weight of the liquid that is raised in the capillary tube. Okay. So, first is upward component. What is upward component? The upward component is the force that represents the surface tension of the liquid at any point of the circumference, and this upward component is represented by the letter A, and A is equal to the gamma into cos theta. Okay. And this upward force is around the circumference of the capillary tube. So, formula of the circumference is 2 pi r. So, upward component A will be equal to A into gamma into 2 pi r into cos theta. Okay. And for the liquids that we are using in the pharmacy, cos theta will equal to the 1, and upward component will become A is equal to 2 pi r gamma. Next is downward component. So, downward component is balancing the upward component. It is the counteracting force, and it is applied due to the gravity, and this force depends upon the weight of the liquid that is already raised into the capillary tube. Okay. Downward component is represented by the letter B, and B is equal to the mass of the liquid in the capillary, that is m, multiplied by acceleration due to gravity, and it is represented by the letter G. So, B is equal to mass into acceleration m into G, and mass will equal to the volume into density, as density is equal to mass divided by volume. So, mass will be volume into density, and acceleration is same. Now, we can represent volume by cross sectional area into height. Okay. We are replacing this volume with cross sectional area into height, density will be same and acceleration will be same. Now, the cross sectional area is represented by pi r square. The formula to calculate the cross sectional area is pi r square. Height is represented by h, density is represented by rho, and acceleration due to gravity is represented by the letter G. So, at the equilibrium A is equal to B. What is the equilibrium? When upward component is equal to the downward component, then equilibrium will occur, and at this equilibrium the upward component will equal to the downward component, means component A is equal to the component B. So, when component A is equal to component B, 2 pi r gamma is equal to pi r square into h into rho into G. So, gamma is equal to half r rho h g. When we have the values of this r h, we can easily calculate the surface tension with the help of this capillary rise method. And another method for calculation of surface and interfacial tension is Deneuve-ring method, and in this method we can measure the interfacial tension as well as surface tension with the help of this formula. This value represents the dial reading in dian, m represents the mass, g represents the acceleration due to gravity, v represents the volume, rho represents the density, and a correction factor is applied to avoid the errors in the calculation, and this correction factor is represented by the letter F. Thank you.